Well, the recent rash of threats made on social media and through text messages have shaken students, educators, and law enforcement. Our Cash Matlock talks with local law enforcement and prosecutors about the type of charges that kids could face. He joins us in the studio with that story.
Well, Andrea, threats of terrorism are something area law enforcement take very seriously. In fact, there's a new Mississippi law that lawmakers hope will deter other young children from making a similar mistake. Oktibbeha County Sheriff Steve Gladney says so far he hasn't had to put any of his schools on lockdown due to threats of terrorism. However, he's ready to prosecute anyone who calls in a threat, even if it's a child.
These people got to understand this is not a joke, and we're not going to take it as a joke. We're going to do everything we can to find out who's calling these threats in, and with the technology today, we're going to do that.
Area Youth Court Prosecutor Mark Jackson says there's actually a new state law regarding threats.
They passed a law for the Mississippi Terroristic Threats Law, and that is a felony offense if committed by someone that's over 18. And if an adult commits that, it's a 0 to 10-year felony. As a juvenile, however, what they would do is come to youth court, and we would determine whether or not first they've committed what we call a delinquent act.
Jackson says juveniles who break this law are usually not tried as adults, but they still face a series of consequences.
The youth court judge has the option to give them probation, but can also give them up to detention here in the Lowndes County Detention Center. A huge amount of restitution that's owed, involving law enforcement having to come out, search, close the school down for a day. And I know that is something that has sometimes even more deterrent value than even spending a week or two in detention. Is you got to pay back thousands and thousands of dollars to reimburse the county for having to do this investigation.
Jackson and Gladney say most of the time kids do not understand the severity of their actions.
Frequently the defense is I was never going to do anything, or I didn't have a bomb, or I didn't have any way to carry this out.
You know, don't let your friends talk you into doing stuff that you're going to be sorry for later, or it's going to cost your parents a lot of money to get you out of it.
If you or anyone you know receives word of a threat, Gladney says sharing the information on Facebook should be the last thing you do.
Make sure that law enforcement's notified. We'll make sure the proper authorities are notified. But, you know, just be smart. Don't do it.
Well, Jackson says usually the only way a minor would be tried as an adult in a situation like this is if they do indeed have the means to carry out a threat, or if they have a long history with youth court.